So in this video we're going to begin by watching a short clip of a game on Korea Invasion where the attacking American team got pushed back and got trapped in their own fob. And after the clip I'm gonna break down what happened and show you guys what you should do if you end up in a situation like this. We can see now it's the Americans that are the attacking team that's getting attacked right now. They have lost control completely on the north side here of the river. And the insurgents can't take advantage of that and work their way around them and just trap them inside of this fob that they have. But as soon as the insurgents realize that they could just push around the north side, they should do it. But right now it's too easy for the defenders. Yeah, squad 3 leading the charge. We're gonna push down to the east side. This is, you always need to expand your lines. You cannot let the enemies push you like this. So on the video we just watched, they were playing Korea Invasion. The first camps were a mosque and nursery. The fob and half positions were like this. And the players were approximately positions like this. So a helmet represents 5 players, a rifle is 1 player. So this is what's going on. Blue is trying to push west to the cap and red is pushing east to stop blue. Blue has tunnel vision and are only pushing almost directly west, while red is taking some more control. And as soon as red realize that they can just push east on the north side without even having to fight for it, they will do it. And when they do that, this will happen. So let's pretend that we're in the blue team and we spawn on this fob and we're gonna go out on the west side. As soon as we get outside of the walls, we're gonna have to scan everything between these lines for enemies. If we go out on the north side, we're going to have to scan everything between these lines for enemies. If we go out on the east side, we're gonna have to scan everything between these lines for enemies. Which means that we have a lot of terrain to try to cover to scan for enemies. Now let's pretend that we're on the red team and we're somewhere in this area. Let's say we're this guy. We only have to watch everything that goes on in this area. And if we're, let's say, this guy, we just need to watch what's going on in this area. So of course, we as the red team will have a big advantage over the blue team when it comes to who will spot who first. A lot of blue players will die as soon as they leave the compound and they won't even get a shot off towards the red. So how will this advantage for the red team impact the game? To begin with, when this fight started out, there were about the equal numbers of players on both teams fighting in this fight. With blue having such a hard time pushing out and getting killed all the time, they will have about 20 to 30% of their team laying down, waiting to get revived, and 20 to 30% of their infantry waiting to respawn. And as you can see, it's no longer a balanced fight between equal numbers. So how do you guys think that this will end? It will end, as most of these scenarios do when I'm watching from admin cam, that red team will push closer and closer and closer until they're blocking the spawn and just start killing the blue one by one until there's no more blue and the red can push in and take down the fob. So what could the blue team have done to prevent this shitstorm from ever happening? Well, to begin with, they could have built a fob and a somewhere north side of the river in the start of the game. They didn't. Now they're in this shitstorm, but it's not too late at this moment. Red have not yet started pushing across the river and taking control directly north of their spawn here. So this is when they have to react. I'm just gonna switch to make one squad green so you can see what they're about to do. So what they need to do here is to stop pushing so much, because they're already feeling that they can't get out, and that's why they're panicking and respawning and pushing and respawning and pushing. They need to switch up and start going on the defensive instead. So now blue are not the one pushing. Blue are the ones just laying in the bushes, holding the angles, waiting for the red players to push towards them. And they're doing this to buy time for the green squad, where this smart squad lead realizes what's going on and he switches from spawning on this fob to that mortar fob that they had and is pushing up to the north side to get a rally down for the rest of his squad. So he don't have to move the whole squad at the same time. He would have a few guys, remaining at the old fob, and when they die they will respawn. And when they are up here now, they can enforce, try to clear out the north side and take it back. Now take a look at this. Before the green squad went up here north of the cap, the red team were in control here. And blue team had a very hard time getting across the red line. They were all trapped down here in this compound, and they didn't even try to use the fob they had with mortars to the east. But now, when green have gone up here and cleared out the north side of the cap, it opens up the map completely for the rest of their team, which means that they can reinforce the north side of the cap and start moving people around it. Now, red team are the ones having difficulties crossing the blue line, and blue could even reinforce the hold they have here by moving up a logi now when they have control and building a second fob to get even more map control and abilities to send more people around in different directions of the cap. So next time your team in a position like this, where you feel like you cannot really push out from your spawn and the enemies are just getting closer and closer, you need to react like the green squad did. And don't feel bad for leaving and feel like, if I leave, we're gonna lose this position. You're most likely gonna lose it anyways. So better leave it, try to get some map control somewhere else, and you could actually use this, that the enemies are pushing this place so hard, as a diversion to get control of somewhere else. For example, green squad now, using this as diversion, getting a logi around the north side of the cap, getting a fob up, and the more that the red are pushing and they're feeling that they're getting closer and closer, so they want to push more and more, the more blue are dying. But now they're spawning over here and they're coming in from behind. So red is pushing closer to their blue fob, but blue is getting closer to the red fob and the cap. And at the end of the day, when red is celebrating that they're taking down the blue fob, they're losing the cap, and now the red team have to attack their own cap while blue is defending it. And there is of course a lot of different ways to handle a situation like this, but this is a very simple way, and you don't really have to coordinate that much with other squad leads. You just have to get that feeling of when you need to make a move and get that second spawn out for your squad or your team.